What's up guys, welcome to JR Strength and Fitness, your friendly YouTube channel with all of your exercise science needs, your reaction video wants, and of course some exercise tutorials because why the hell not?
You can say hello, but I don't need you to like.
In this video, I'm going to be watching and reacting to Ben Affleck's workout for his, Batman role. That was a couple years ago in the Batman vs. Superman. I kind of really wish that Batman or Ben would have stuck with Batman a little bit longer, especially if he was going to bulk up for that role. And they even showed a couple training scenes in the movie that I'm curious to see if that was actually incorporated into his overall training. So I think this will be overall pretty interesting. Again, please like and subscribe and let your friends know about me. If you want to check out the other reaction videos, it is right up there. And then for the most part, let me know what else you want me to react to, and I'll do it. All right guys, let's get it.
Hi, I'm Magnus Ligback, the founder of the Magnus Method. And I'm going to show you guys the workout I did with Ben Affleck for Justice League. Our goals to build Ben as Batman were to build leg strength, stability. You know, Batman's carrying around this heavy suit all day on set. So we needed Ben to have the support he needed to carry that suit. At the same time, build some size. He's a big dude. And obviously, there's an element of martial arts in the movie that we also wanted to capture.
First off, I know who Magnus is. If you don't know who Magnus is, he is a celebrity trainer. I believe he has a pretty huge following on Instagram. I've seen him before. So yeah, okay, I know who the trainer is. Cool. Obviously, yes, what he was saying as far as their goal is, Batman to get big and strong, seems about right. Because I'm not quite sure what Ben was doing before, but I do remember maybe a few years before Batman, Ben was on the heavier side, probably eating a little bit more, one or two more cupcakes than he was supposed to. Obviously, dude was pretty freaking huge in this, so people threw around the whole steroid thing. I don't want to, assume that. I just want to assume that dude worked hard, dude ate right, and obviously worked for the role.
Okay, let's get started. So we're going to start with a front squat. What I love about the front squat, it makes your core fire before your leg does, and you have minimum load on the spine. So Hunter's making sure to retract his shoulders, elbows up, and then just sitting down, making sure that his heels are planted. Some resistance on the way down and explosive on the way up. Our next exercise is a deadlift. What I love about the deadlift is that it will work your posterior chain and give you a boost of both testosterone and IGF-1, which we need so badly. So Hunter's going to show you here, you shoulder width, bar close to the chin, lats on, leaning forward, squatting down, and then he's pushing up, standing up, making sure to lock the hip and lower back.
All right, first two exercises. So I've never personally have done that variation of the dumbbell front squat. Typically, if I'm going to front squat, I'm going to have someone front squat. They're going to either use the barbell in some sort of form of barbell, but that single dumbbell, they'll typically be in a goblet squat. So I'm not quite sure about this exercise specifically because I haven't done it before, but I'm just going to pick and choose just based on what I can kind of perceive. So essentially, the goblet squat might actually activate a little bit more core engagement because it's in front of you and it's actually pulling on you. I'm a huge fan of the goblet squat, in order to learn how to squat, and B, just holding that damn thing right there, it's pretty freaking tiring and taxing. Okay, I like front squats. I like deadlifts, obviously. The step-by-step execution of the deadlift was like spot on too. How he approached the barbell, how he cued like grip, lats on, hinge down, all that kind of stuff was pretty spot on, and the deadlifts were like phenomenal. The other thing too is like what he said about what it's needed for testosterone, IGF-1. So yeah, actually, so heavy compound movements, specifically lower body compound movements, tend to have a greater response for testosterone. For for you guys out there, hit leg day, always hit leg day. And so yeah, okay, I like the 2 exercises.
Okay, our next exercise are drop sits. And this is an old Kung Fu exercise that will build endurance and strength in the legs. And there's a nice little progression you can do here as well. You know, Batman as a martial artist, it was important for us to look towards the martial arts world and take a few of those exercises and integrate them into our plan. That's the progression right there. So you squat down and you reach for the wall or the object you're standing against. So our next exercise is a squat to a kick. It's a great move to work the legs and also obliques, hip flexors, and balance. So Hunter's gonna drop down into a squat. He's gonna come up and rotate and do a beautiful side kick and then drop down into a squat again. That's also working your fast twitch muscle fibers if you do it explosive enough. So you want to go as explosive as possible.
So the next 2 exercises, so the drop sit, I think that's what they called it. So that looks like another variation of the Kazakh squat. So the Kazakh squat, whether you spell it with a K or with a C, whatever, it doesn't really matter. But I personally love that exercise as far as a mobility, a very, very good mobility exercise, because if you can sit down all the way to the ankle and get yourself up, you're showing phenomenal flexibility and mobility, but also single leg strength. So single leg strength is very, very important. Plus these movements like the drop sit and Kazakh squat and those kind of things, lateral lunges, they tend to utilize the kind of groin muscles inside of the adductor muscles a lot more than some of the traditional movements like the lunges of the world. Like, I'm not saying lunges are bad or anything, but sometimes if you want to functionally strengthen those muscles, the inner thigh muscles, then Kazakh squats, lateral lunges, etc. work pretty freaking well. So, okay, I love that exercise. The 4th exercise was an interesting one. Now, this is an example of how you can mix things up so it's not the same boring, same old exercise that you keep doing. So, okay, I can kind of vibe with it. It's a fun variation of a lower body exercise. Plus, it involves that kind of explosive movement with it, the kick aspect of it. So if you're training for something specific, then okay, yeah, makes sense. Now, if he was training for a boxer role or he was doing some sort of throwing, I'm not quite sure it would make sense, but obviously there's kicking involved, whether you're martial arts or kickboxing or whatever it is. So it would make sense in order to utilize that.
So our last exercise today is a lateral hollow rock. So Hunter's gonna come up with his legs and his upper body. He's gonna firmly press his lower back down in the ground, and then he's gonna roll over to a 45-degree angle and lift his leg up. This works your entire core. You're not really bending the spine. You're just targeting different areas of the core depending on where you are in the movement. So you guys just witnessed a typical day from the Batman program that I did with Ben Affleck on Justice League. Obviously there's more days in the program, but this is something you guys could do twice a week, and it's really gonna help you with flexibility and leg strength.
Okay, the last one with the abs, that's actually a great core exercise, is that the hollow body, a very fundamental position in gymnastics and CrossFit, etc. But the lateral rocking kind of aspect of it actually increases the activation of those rotary muscles as well. So a good variation to that exercise as well. Overall, like he said, it looks like it's just the lower body portion of their workouts, and I loved it. Like, that's what you want. You want compound oriented movements at the initially. Overall, I love the workout. You apply the compound oriented movements, relatively heavy. They don't necessarily have to be like max effort kind of level of heavy. He did 4 sets of 8 of the squat and the deadlift, I think. And then you have I call them secondary or accessory lifts, which are the drop sit that he did, etc. And then he had the squat to kick, which you can think of it as a little bit more of a metabolically conditioning oriented exercise, which I tend to favor tailoring them towards the end of a workout after the compound movements. And then the, finisher, the core abs, phenomenal. So what was that? That was only 5. The squat, the deadlift, the drop sit, the squat and kick, and then that's only 5. And you can get a solid workout like that with just 5 very, very over-encompassing movements, especially if you're just focused on a certain area of the body, like the lower body or upper body. You get 5 movements, you get in there, you do them well. Overall, I got nothing wrong to say about that. It was actually a pretty good workout. That's probably something I would program for somebody if they had to train for some sort of specific event and were focusing on lower body. So yeah, that was pretty straightforward. I'm not even quite sure I have anything to add to that. I am curious what the upper body is, because I know that Ben got huge freaking boulder shoulders in order for his role. So I actually am curious what the upper body was. But lower body wise, phenomenal. All right, guys. So again, like and subscribe, let your friends know about me. And then of course, every now and then I'm going to drop one of these videos out. So
Yeah.